It's Monday, July 15th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. A very humid day out here in the desert. We have another monsoon rolling through, and I don't know when we're going to get some rain, but it could be any minute. So I'm going to get this video going. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. First article, and feel free to comment on any of these articles, comment on anything you want to comment on, share these videos. CNBC, Jerome Powell indicates Fed won't wait until inflation is down to 2% before cutting rates. They can't wait because they're never going to get back to 2%. And they are going to cut rates at some point. Now, I didn't really think they would do it this year. Don't know for sure if they are. I said, in my opinion, that we would maybe see one rate cut this year. We may see one, we may see two, we may see none. I don't know, but they're beginning to move the goalposts, and they're not going to get inflation down to 2%. And when they do cut rates, whether it's this year or early next year, prepare for more inflation. They're telling us right now, they're getting ready to cut at some point, and they're telling us, you and I, that they cannot win the fight against inflation. This is why they're going to be cutting rates before the 2% mark. They cannot win the fight. And we all know inflation isn't 3%. We know it's not going back to 2%. They can't win the fight. They're going to cave, they're going to give in, and they're going to start cutting rates well before the 2% mark because they can't get to 2%. And so expect more inflation. Here's another one from CNBC. Dow jumps more than 200 points to record as Trump survives assassination attempt. I don't believe that the markets went up today because Trump survived. I believe markets are going up because Jerome Powell is indicating that the Fed is going to cut rates. I don't think the markets care about anything or anybody. I don't think they care about who the president's going to be. They care about rate cuts. That's why the markets are up today. We're not getting back to 2%. They're going to start cutting rates. Could be this as early as this year. If not, it'll be early next year. But they're getting these markets, wound up with the great news that the cavalry is going to come in. They're going to print money. They're going to cut rates. J.D. Vance, most of you have already heard, going to be the VP out of Ohio. And again, markets melting up today. With all this news, I'm watching some of the convention. We got the announcement, Jerome Powell coming out with rate cuts. Everything sounds good. Dow Jones up 210, NASDAQ up 74. Gold was up much higher today, closed only up 650, but we're sitting at record highs. Bitcoin exploding today, up 6.2%, up $3,700. Now, my question to all of you is this. If Trump wins the election, and I'm not sitting here to get political, I'm not political. First off, I believe that nobody on either side should be violent. I want to see peace. I want to see the best for America, and that's it. I'm not going to sit here and get political. But let's talk about this because this is really, really important. If Trump wins the election, what's going to happen? Is everything going to just be okay? Will the economy instantly surge? Will people have more money in their bank accounts? Will the country be safe? What's going to happen to the $3.5 trillion of debt? Are jobs going to continue to be crushed? Will that stop? Will people begin to get better jobs? Or are we going to see manufacturing? Right now, we have millions of people in this country with very, very bad intentions, many military trained. Are we going to see some issues with that? Are we going to see some blowback from all these people in this nation? Can this country be rapidly repaired? I don't think so. I think that so much damage has been done. Let's not forget, we're going to see more damage throughout the year. We have many, many more months to go, and more damage is going to take place. More people will be here. The debts will get bigger. The deficits will get bigger. We will have more enemies globally. So if we get a new president, is it going to change? And if it does, how quickly, how rapidly will it change? And will it make a difference in your life? I think a lot of people have a very, very false sense of security because they believe that once Trump is elected, that everything's going to be fine. All the problems are going to disappear. Everybody will be safe. Everybody's going to have a high-paying job. The debts are going to go down. The deficits are going to go down. Mortgage rates are going to go down, et cetera, et cetera. This is a very, very false sense of security. You have to remember, this is one man. The problems are so big in this country, ladies and gentlemen. The damage is so bad and so deep, it's going to take years to fix this stuff. We have very, very serious dark forces that are running wild here in America. And if you, think that, well, I'm going to ease up on my preps, in 6 months or whatever, things are going to be better and I'm going to be fine. Don't do this. This is a false sense of security. In fact, I believe that we are going to get a new president. You know who it's going to be, but I believe that you're going to see some really serious chaos take place when that happens. You have some very dark, evil forces, ominous forces that are just not going to go away, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a fact. I think we can all be adults here. I think we can all connect the dots that when this man does take power, they are going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at him and the American people. That's my opinion. America was less than an inch away from socio-political disaster. This on The Hedge today. Just a couple bullet points here. The shooter was crawling on a rooftop for minutes with no action being taken. Is this just incompetence or more than that? Was it a security lapse? It seems very, very suspicious to me. And I'm watching a lot of these guys on YouTube, these ex-snipers, SWAT team members, military people saying that no way. Eric Prince, the owner of the once well-known Blackwater, saying this is an absolute joke what took place. Something's up. Again, there are elites who are not going to go away, ladies and gentlemen. And you saw the power of these people, that they are willing to take the life of whoever they have to take the life of. I'm not saying who did this. I don't know. I don't know who these people are. But I know that there are people, the puppet masters, that are pulling some strings. And there's certain people they do not like. Here's another one from The Hedge. What rate cuts can and cannot do. This was a good article. And go take 5 minutes of your day. Take 15 minutes of your day. Look these articles up and do some due diligence. Before I get into this article, I've noticed that a lot of real estate agents are telling their sellers, hold on, going to have a new president here in November, starting the job in January. We'll have a new president. Just hang on, things are going to turn around. Mortgage rates are going to come down. The economy is going to be booming, and you're going to get top dollar for your house. Be very, very cautious, ladies and gentlemen, of who you're listening to. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And these people speculating that things are going to turn around on a dime like that quickly. Some people speculate 3% is the new target and that the old 2% standard is being depreciated. This would be bad news for the consumer and small businesses. It means incomes will continue to have a hard time keeping up with purchasing power. Homebuyers must understand that Fed rate cuts may have no effect on mortgages. It is entirely possible that with a rate cut, the yield curve will simply become steeper. 10-year bonds, including 30-year mortgages, staying the same or even rising. It also does not directly affect interest in credit card debt, and your average rate is about 23% right now. So, people just that believe right now with this false sense of security that, oh yeah, once our new president arrives in January, everything, credit card rates are going down, mortgage rates are going down, the economy is going to boom, all these jobs are going to be hitting the market. This is going to take years to repair, ladies and gentlemen. You still have to remember, we have nearly $35 trillion of debt. Social Security has been wiped out. We have over $1 trillion of interest alone on the debt. We got wars popping up all over the place. We've got God knows who now in this country with God knows what intentions. If we have a man-made disaster take effect next year, this could have huge influence on markets, businesses, the direction of this country. There's just so much that can happen. And I do believe that we're watching a lot. I mean, what we just saw happen with this attempted assassination, historic. What we're watching happening right now with this election, historic. What we're watching happening around the world, historic. We still got the rest of July, August, September, October, November, December, 6 months to go just for 2024. Who knows what we're going to see? And who knows what we're going to see in 2025. Is the United States dollar really too big to fail? Also on the hedge today, since 2008, here's a couple of things of why it could fail. Since 2000, and go through this article, there's a lot more on this list. Here's just a few. Since 2008, Putin stockpiling gold. Since 2014, global central banks have been net sellers of United States treasuries and net buyers of physical gold. Make sure if you don't have gold, if you don't have silver, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Get some of this stuff now. We are in very uncharted water at this point. Uncertain times are coming. Chaos is coming. You need to be holding hard, tangible assets like gold, like silver. Do what these countries are doing. Do what these global banks are doing. Go to my link down below, SD Bullion, if you don't have any. In 2023, 20% of global oil sales were outside of the U.S. dollar. More than 44 nations are currently executing trade settlements out of the U.S. dollar. Both Japan and China, historically the most reliable buyers of Uncle Sam's IOUs, are now dumping billions and billions worth of them. Russia is now the world's greatest commodity exporter, and China is the world's greatest commodity importer, and they like each other more than Sleepy Joe. Russia is now selling oil to China in yuan, while Russia uses those yuans to buy Chinese-made goods. China and India have populations, each have populations of over 1.4 billion people. If oil demand increases even slightly in either of these BRICS countries, oil prices in rupees and yuan and every other currency will explode. And two of the biggest players in the oil space don't want to use US dollars to pay for it. They prefer gold. I don't have a crystal ball. I've never sat here and said I can read into the future. I've never said I'm a prophet. I'm just somebody reading the data, looking at the numbers, and connecting the dots. You know, these people who say, well, you know, you can't eat dollars. You can't eat gold. You can't eat silver. You can't eat dollars either. And I will definitely take my chances with gold and silver, because you're watching a fiat currency, monopoly money, lose more and more of its purchasing power, and you're watching the rest of the world do everything they can to walk away from this weaponized monopoly money. And these countries are huge, big militaries, big banks, big producers of commodities, big buyers of commodities. They hold lots and lots of physical gold. They have lots of oil. You better be preparing. Don't get into this false sense of security that, hey, everything's going to be fine January 1st. Everything's going to be wonderful beginning January of next year. I don't think it's going to be. There's just no way it's going to be that easy. There's just no way. We've dug such a deep hole here. We all know that inflation isn't 3%. You all are putting gas in your cars. You're all going to the grocery store. You're all paying your monthly electricity bill and your utilities. Are they going up or are they going down? You're paying for car insurance, health insurance, property insurance. Is it going up or is it going down? How in the world do they think people are this stupid? I guess if you tell people a lie enough times, they begin to believe it. But every time I have to open up my wallet and pay for another bill, if I go to the grocery store, if I have to go to the store and buy something, if I go out to dinner, it just keeps going up and up and up. I guess they think people are dumb enough and stupid enough to believe all this, but I have to admit, more and more people are beginning to wake up. And what just happened the other day with the attempted assassination, so many people now are connecting the dots. They're putting the puzzle together and they're going, wow, they really hate this guy. I think that, you know, there's more to this than some 20-year-old, you know, bozo who got bullied in school, you know, with pimples all over his face. There's more to it than that. We don't know really anything about anything that's going on with this, but what we do know is there were a lot of huge mistakes. There's a lot of holes with the security protocol. And a lot of people in this business are very aware of that. They're pointing it out, that this should have never happened. It couldn't have happened unless it was purposely meant to be that way. You would never leave a rooftop open like that, and they did. And they've made a lot of excuses, but a 7th grader could figure out that you better have somebody up on that rooftop right there. So, you know, what I expect moving forward as we get closer to 2025 and into 2025, probably with a new president, is watch out for major cyber attacks, watch out for grids going down, watch out for things to really get chaotic right here. We have people here right now with very, very bad intentions. Our water systems, our sewer systems, our grids, our financial systems are all wide open. And I do believe they're going to be victimized in this country. The power that these other countries have now with cyber attacks hitting us every day, and then having all these people in here that, you know, can do things, you know, I think most people are very, very unaware of who's walking around in this country right now. And they better wake up really, really quick, because you're going to find yourself in the middle of something and you're not going to know what to do. I mean, what we all have to do, word of advice, is the first thing we all better do is admit we got some real serious trouble here in this country as far as who's here, and as far as the debt and what's happening financially and the manipulation that's taking place. So look, I don't have all the answers, but one thing I will say to all of you is stay on path, stay on track, do not get complacent. Expect a very, very bumpy road from here on out all the way into 2025. They are not going to make it easy. There are people, let's be very, very clear, that do not care about this country, who are here, who are in very powerful places, who are in politics, who are the puppet masters, who don't care about America. They want to take it over. They want to dominate it. They want to crush it. They don't care about any person. They don't care about any party. They don't care about anything. They want to crush this country, and they will do whatever they have to do to disrupt it, in order to crush it and break it. You better realize that they're not going away. This is spiritual warfare. You're going to see a physical type warfare in this country. What you saw the other day with the attempted assassination was just a representation of what's about to happen to the American people. Be very, very careful out there. They're going to want to really intimidate and scare people. You're going to see events take place. Make sure you're proficient. Make sure you're training. Make sure you're in the best shape of your life. Make sure that you have defensive skills, that you can use your body and that you can use your tools to protect yourself, your family, your assets, and keep putting food and water away, because they're going to hit the grid at some point. My opinion, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope I'm completely wrong. I hope when the new president comes in that, boom, everything is fixed and solved within the first 6 months, and you know, we never look back. If you believe it's going to be that easy, if you really believe that that's going to happen, stop preparing today. Don't watch these videos anymore, because we're heading into a utopia, if that's what you believe. I don't. I believe that now more than ever, you better be preparing mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Have a great day. Be safe. Be training. God bless all of you. Say a prayer for those families, that fire chief who lost his life protecting his family, and the other 2 people in critical. Pray for these people, and pray for Mr. Trump. He needs our prayers. He needs protections, and pray for all of you and yourself and your families. This country is under assault. You are under assault by very ominous evil forces. So we need to be praying for Mr. Trump. We need to be praying even maybe for Joe Biden, right? I'm not even going to comment on that, but we need to be praying for one another too. Remember, one man cannot save this country. One man cannot fix what has been broken. It's going to take all of us. We need to be praying. We need to be coming together. We need to be walking closer to God. Say a prayer for the leadership of this country, a prayer for Mr. Trump, and a prayer for all of us, that we get stronger, and that we follow direction, and that we do whatever we have to do to fix this country. We're going to be tested, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready.